It's time for an in-depth analysis on your local high school football games. This is Inside the Game, sponsored by Mitchell Auto Group.
Well, good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the playoff and, unfortunate to say, the final edition of Inside the Game right here on KSAN. I'm Sports Director Jason Bridge, and we decided that it was such a special night that we brought in Rachel Turnock yet again to stay indoors for the second week in a row. Rachel, for tonight's show, we start off with the Central Bobcats, who had a tough loss at home against a district champion Haltom to wrap up the regular season. And to open up the playoffs, well, they basically had to go into Arlington Lamar's own backyard.
Yeah, and while the Bobcats didn't get that district trophy they wanted, they're still going to the playoffs, and they have another chance to win the by-district trophy. When we spoke with head coach Brent Davis this week, he mentioned the defense just didn't really play that well, and he wasn't really sure why. They were solid the majority of the season. So I imagine they focused on defense this week as they prep for Arlington Lamar on the road. Yeah, I'm sure they probably did that. Let's see how they did. Let's go to it. Malachi Brown looking for his playoff win as a Central quarterback. Opening drive, Lamar's Jack Dawson. There we go, looking in the direction of Cam Brady for the 36-yard pitch and catch. 7-0 Vikings. Second quarter now. Brown drops back and sends a strike to Jackson Tim, who somehow finds a way to haul it in for the Bobcat touchdown. Game tied at 7. Ensuing Lamar drive, Jack Dawson fires one downfield. The throw is one thing, but then look at the grab from Isaiah Nader. That's just another great catch. Very next play, handoff to Jordan Williams for the 12-yard touchdown strike, giving the Vikes the 13-7 lead. Under 6 to go in the half. Lamar driving again. Dawson hooking up with Trayvon West, who breaks a few and heads to the house for the 18-yard touchdown, making it 20-7 Lamar. But the Vikes not done yet. Dawson back to work this time to Cam Brady for another touchdown between the two. This one for 57 yards out. That would make it 27-7. Lamar would lead 41-7 at the break, and Central's season unfortunately comes to an end as they fall 55-14. When district realignment happened in February, Lakeview found themselves in District 2-4A, a 4-team district, which means no matter what, no matter where they finish, all 4 teams do clinch a spot in the playoffs. Lakeview's coming off of a win last week to Big Spring, which snapped a 7-game losing streak, and that's what the Chiefs wanted to head into their by-district matchup with the win. And they hit the road to take on Clint Mountain View out in Fort Stockton, and the Chiefs come out on top 28-21, their first playoff win since 2014. They advanced to the area round. They're going to face Hershey, and we confirmed this with head coach Hector Guevara. That game between Hershey and Lakeview will be at 2 p.m. next Saturday up at Abilene's Shotwell Stadium. So a huge win for Lakeview. I know that they already knew that they were going to the playoffs, but they got what they wanted. They won last week. They went into the postseason with a win, plenty of momentum, and then they got that win out in Fort Stockton tonight, which was just huge. And you kind of mentioned it right there. That win against Big Spring last week really helped going into playoffs. And you know, during that losing streak, we were all like, this is not looking so great for Lakeview. I mean, of course, they're going to make playoffs with the way UIL works, but how well were they actually going to do once they got to said playoffs? But they kind of answered our question tonight with that win, and then now they got to face a Wichita Falls Hershey team that is no strangers to the playoff as well. But they will be playing semi-close to their home right here in Lakeview. Absolutely. And then as for Central, tough losing in the by-district round, the opening round of the playoffs. They lost an area last year, but fortunately, Malachi Brown, he's just a sophomore, so they're going to have him for the next 2 years. And you mentioned it too, Brent Davis said this is going to be a tough one. They hope it didn't turn into a track meet because Arlington Lamar's got a ton of athletes, and it showed in spades tonight. Of course, you know, but like you said too, Malachi Brown, he's only a sophomore. He's still got 2 more years to go. Something you really don't see out of Brent Davis. He likes to start the older ones, the juniors, the seniors. But unfortunately, due to the McIver injury earlier this year, he had to go to he had to go to Malachi Brown early. You know, it didn't really hurt. It didn't really help out a lot tonight. But you could see his progression throughout the season. Yeah, and again, you know, Central's been fortunate to have, you know, a playoff game at home the last few years. And so this time around, starting out the playoffs, at least this time around, they had to travel to Arlington. I mean, fortunately, the district that they were in, head coach Brent Davis said that they thought that their district really will help them prepare for the playoffs. But Arlington, you know, they're so used to playing Arlington Bowie, you know, teams like that, even teams from El Paso. This is a team that they haven't really seen. So it's, you know, it's a really tough loss for Central, but fortunately, they will have Malachi.
Yeah, I mean, experience, I mean, they got a ton of it tonight. The whole team, and those that will be coming back next year, Malachi, and then a bunch of others just scattered throughout. It's going to be a good team again next year. And of course, then you always have that one guy, head coach, Brett Davis. He always has a way of figuring things out.
Absolutely.
Well, thank you, Rachel. Round 1 in the books, but don't go anywhere because we're just getting started here on Inside the Game. Coming up, we'll take a look at how our 3A teams fared in their first-round matchups, including the Wall Hawks, the Ballinger Bearcats, and the Sonora Broncos. All that coming up next. Keep it here.
This update sponsored by Bug Express.
Fall means cooler weather, holidays, and Southland Baptist Church fall activities. Children and youth ministries are in full swing. And parents, don't think we've left you out. We have men's and women's Bible studies, marriage enrichment, and parenting classes just for you. Join us for Bible study every Sunday at 8:30 and 11 a.m. on Sunday. And worship begins at 9:45. On Wednesday evening, Southland Cafe is open for supper from 4:45 to 5:45 with children's, youth, and adult Bible study to follow at 6 p.m. We would love for you to come and find your place at Southland Baptist Church.
This Black Friday, don't wait in line. Get VIP treatment instead during the Black Friday VIP sale at Denver Mattress. Right now, the more you buy, the more you save. Get $100 off every $1,000 you spend, no limit. Or get a Ring Video Doorbell too, or a $300 Furniture Row gift certificate when you spend $19.99 or more. Plus 5 years no interest and no down payment. Don't waste time in line. Shop the Black Friday VIP sale today, only at Denver Mattress.
The exceptional licensed plumbers at Superior Services are fully qualified, experienced technicians that can help any plumbing challenge. They repair, they replace, they can fix whatever isn't working. Whether it's a plumbing leak that must be stopped or a water heater that needs to be replaced, Superior Services will end up being your best friend because the quality of work is second to none. So don't keep struggling with a faulty shower head, a leaking toilet, and stop those high water bills. If it isn't working, call Superior Services at 223-5442.
On a Forbidden Fansville by Dr. Pepper.
Ramon, we can't.
But Julia,
We're rivals.
I can love you and still hate your overrated school.
We have two different defensive philosophies. You're a base 4-3 cover 2, and I'm an
aggressive 3-4 with press coverage. I get it, but we both love Dr. Pepper.
Oh, Ramon.
Touchdown, State!
Yes! In your face!
Dr. Pepper, the official drink of Fansville.
Welcome back to Inside the Game. For 8 straight years, the Wall Hawks won the district trophy, and for 8 straight years, they've gone undefeated in district play. And first up for the Hawks in the playoffs, a date with Pilot Point. And like head coach Houston Guy said this week, not normally the team they would match up with, but fortunately, they are similar to the opponents they played in their pre-district schedule. And the Hawks come up with a huge win as they shut out Pilot Point 20-0. So they're going to take on Bushland in the area round.
All right, here we go. Ballinger faced off against top 5 ranked Childress last night out in Friendship. Let's go to the first quarter. Joe Marcus Guerrero catches the deflected pass but fumbles it, and Childress's Chris Garcia is Chris on the spot as he would recover the turnover. Later in the drive, Childress quarterback Luke Latimer finds Michael Rodriguez along the sideline. He breaks a tackle and scores this touchdown, making it 7-0 Childress Bobcats on top. Very next possession, Ballinger driving again, but Childress turns them over again. This time it's Hagen Lott with the interception. Ballinger loses a tough one in this one to Childress, 42-16.
Did you see the Childress cheerleaders doing push-ups on the sidelines there?
They look pretty strong. Their arms look bigger than mine.
I'm kind of threatened by them.
Yeah. Shoot, don't mess with their football team or their cheerleaders. It's scary.
Sonora was down in San Antonio at the University of Incarnate Word to battle for the district trophy with Van Vleck, and the Broncos fall in such a close game, 20-13. Sonora did score so late in the game, but it wasn't enough as Van Vleck beats them 20-13.
Yeah, Sonora's kind of had an up and down season. They started out pretty good. Then they had that bad losing streak, which started with Wall, then with Mason. They ran into just a tough slate of games. Then towards the end of the district season, they won a couple of them heading into playoffs, but just not in the cards for them tonight. And, you had a new quarterback this year replacing Caden Cordell and Jackson, the running back from last year as well. That was already going to be hard to do.
Absolutely. And, another 3A squad that Sonora did face, the Wall Hawks, like you mentioned, getting that shutout win. Every week, Houston Guy always talks about how their defense will just have a tough task, and then they always just come out.
What does he always
well.
say? It's about matchups.
Yes.
We match up. They match up tough. We match up well with them. But they got the shutout, and they did what kind of happened to them earlier in the year. Head coach Houston Guy was always worried about turnovers. They were turning it over too much. Tonight, in the first half, they turned them over 3 times, keeping them out of the end zone. The score was only 6-0 at the half. Yeah. Not really something you see out of a Wall Hawk offense, but you know what? They played ball control. They kept it out of their hands because if they don't have the ball, they can't score. So, but yeah, they're moving on. They're playing Bushlid. Don't know yet where that one's going to be, but this is an old rivalry between these two teams.
Yeah, that'll be really fun.
Yeah, well, that'll do it for the 3A squads, but coming up, we got plenty more action here on Inside the Game as we go down to 2A, as El Dorado had their first-round game right here in San Angelo, and the Miles Bulldogs clashed out with the Hamlin Pied Pipers, one of the greatest mascots in the entire state. That and much, much more next. We'll be right back.
At Home Zone, we're kicking off Black Friday early. That's right. Starting now, you can shop doorbusters available this week only. Plus, get 60 months financing on everything. Save $900 on this soft chenille sectional, now $688. Save $200 on this Eurotop Queen mattress set, now just $299. Or save $700 on this beautiful oak bed at its lowest price ever, just $198. Hurry in while supplies last. Home Zone's pre-Black Friday event starts now.
People shop with us because we're a dependable dealership, but they buy from us because of our prices.
Right now, you can get a new 2019 Nissan Rogue S, just $29.99. Or how about a new 2018 Nissan Sentra S, just $199 a month.
Shop 24/7 at bassbunch.com. Man, I sure hope that was snow.
Train extreme conditions testing. It's hard to stop a train. Really hard. Train, the most reliable heating and cooling.
Call Bowles Heating and Cooling, an independent train dealer, for a free estimate and inquire about our special financing options today.
San Angelo, has your vehicle experienced Champion Express Car Wash yet? Come experience San Angelo's newest Express Tunnel Wash with car wash packages for $7, $10, $13, and $18 and featuring monthly wash plans starting at just $20. This is the car wash you have been waiting for. A fast, friendly, affordable Express Tunnel Wash. Stop by Champion Express Car Wash today. Champion Express. Champions wash here.
Well, welcome back, sports fans. As promised, we check in now with our 2A schools, and we begin with the El Dorado Eagles. And what a season it was for second-year head coach Michael Johnson as he led the Eagles to a 6-4 record along with a district championship, and after a coin flip, earned the #1 seed. And for their first-round matchup, they get the Haskell Indians. So let's go over to San Angelo Stadium to see if the Eagles could keep their season going. First quarter's where we catch this one. No score. Haskell's Cutter Medford hands off to Aaron Skiles. Then to Reed Rowe. He goes to on the reverse pass. Some trickery to Xander Garcia. He goes into the end zone for the score. 7-0 Indians striking first. El Dorado trying to get in the ball. Moving Corbin. Covarrubias hauls it downfield, but it's picked off by the guy he was not meaning to throw to, Haskell's Angel Perez. Now 14-0 Indians in the second quarter. Covarrubias passes it to Cesar Garcia. He makes his way into the end zone for the Eagle touchdown. They would go for 2, and they got it, cutting Haskell's lead to 6. But El Dorado falls in a close one. God, such a close one to Haskell, 26-22.
Let's go on out to Sweetwater. Miles and Hamlin meeting up out there. Hamlin scores on the very first play of the game. Braden Werner sends one downfield to Austin Lozano, who throws the defender to the ground for the 40-yard touchdown. Hamlin's next possession, Jackson Cepitas takes it, direct snap, goes in for the 4-yard score, and Hamlin takes the 14-0 lead. The Pied Pipers score courtesy of Cepita and a Wildcat. They would lead 21-0 at the end of the first quarter. Now we'll go to the second quarter now. Miles on offense. Cepita slips through the line, strip sack. Levi Barrentis scoops it up, takes it down to the 14-yard line before he is brought down. And 3 plays later, the Pied Pipers find the end zone again. Braden Werner tucks it in and goes for the 14-yarder, and Hamlin takes a 28-0 lead. It didn't get much better there, as Hamlin would go on to shut out Miles 52-0. The Bulldogs do finish the year at 7-4.
All right, thank you, Rachel. Some more 2A scores for you. Cristobal gets the 6-point win over Cross Plains, upping their record to 2-0 over Cross Plains after beating them by just 1 point earlier this year. And something we've grown accustomed to here, Mason scoring a lot of points, the other team not so much. Mason getting the win 63-0 in the bi-district round over Milano.
How about some more 2A scores? Junction was taken on Holland, and Holland wins 63-12. Junction ends the year at 2-9, and then Ozona falls to Seymour in this one 51-13 as the Lions season comes to an end.
Mason's pretty good.
Yeah, Mason, as you said, very accustomed to Mason winning the #1 team in 2A.
It's not all the time. That's not a 6-man score. That's a 2-way score. Something we've grown accustomed to is just Mason just blowing out people, and it doesn't look like they're going to be slowing down anytime soon.
And way for Cristobal to bounce back,
yeah.
Not bounce back, carry that momentum into the postseason as they beat El Dorado last week, coming off of that win against Cross Plains. That's huge for Cristobal.
Yeah, and then going back to Miles, I mean, it's a tough loss. They played a really good Hamlin Pied Pipers team up in Sweetwater, but Charles Bowles, just his first year with that squad, they looked extremely good the times I was able to go out there and see them. The team's got a bright future out there as well. And then El Dorado, you were out there for that one. God, they were so close with Haskell.
They were. They looked so good in the second half, and the fourth quarter just kind of slipped away from them. It was a tough battle for the Eagles. Michael Johnson, though, I mean, they just one district loss that came to Cristobal last week. They're going to look really good in district next year.
And the market improvement, they went from their first year to their second year.
Yeah.
Imagine what's going to happen in year number 3.
Can't wait.
Yes, stay tuned. More Inside the Game coming up.
We're the El Dorado cheerleaders, and you're watching Inside the Game.
The Suddenlink Black Friday sale is a 17-day event, now through December 2nd. Find out how to get a $100 American Express gift card, plus a Nest Cam indoor security camera on us. Get Altice One, just $69.99 a month, with a $20 monthly credit for 2 years. Enjoy over 200 channels, a voice-activated remote, and 100 meg internet. Stuck in a contract? We'll help buy you out. Call 877-409-1583 and find out how to get a $100 American Express gift card and a Nest Cam indoor security camera on us. Now through December 2nd.
MGB Mike's Gold Buyers has moved to Avenue Inn by Angelo State. Same great MGB service, same great MGB people. New MGB location on Avenue Inn by Angelo State. Bring your gold, silver, and diamonds to MGB. Mike's Gold Buyers, new location on Avenue Inn next to Angelo State. And you'll say,
I sold gold and I like Mike.
This Black Friday, don't wait in line. Get VIP treatment instead during the Black Friday VIP sale at Denver Mattress. Right now, the more you buy, the more you save. Get $100 off every $1,000 you spend, no limit. Or get a Ring Video Doorbell too, or a $300 Furniture Row gift certificate when you spend $19.99 or more. Plus 5 years no interest and no down payment. Don't waste time in line. Shop the Black Friday VIP sale today, only at Denver Mattress.
It's like they want to get hit.
Need a body shop?
It's an easy decision, make it ConchoValley.
Catering for Inside the Game is provided by Chick-fil-A.
Welcome back to Inside the Game. The Robert Lee Steers lost a close game to Eden last Friday at home for the district championship, but time to move on and turn their full attention to the May Tigers. We're going to head on out to Trent for this one. First play from scrimmage for May. Blake Harrell pitches it to Daniel Salinas. He's just going to take off. He'll take that down the sideline, in front of the camera person, to the house. That'll make it 8-0 Tigers. Robert Lee looking to respond, though, off of that. Julian Gamboa takes the snap on a bounce and airs it out to Casey Skipworth, making the sliding grab, and the Steers will tie the game up at late. Later on in the first, May caps off a nice drive on a short run to the end zone for Caleb Ellenberg to make it 14-8 Tigers. And oh my gosh, I didn't know if this game was going to end.
Yeah,
but it did, and May comes out with the win, 94-88. What a game in Trent that was.
Yeah. Just ended, too. Last night, the Sterling City Eagles faced off with Balmorhea out in Rankin. First quarter, no score. Second play from scrimmage, Cade Weatherman, the weatherman, to Marcus Mendoza, and he has gone from 72 yards out as the Balmorhea Bears take the 8-0 lead. Then, on the ensuing kickoff, Sterling City repays it right there as they punch right back. Camden Pruitt on the kickoff return and on a 70-yard touchdown run. He'll take it to bring the Eagles right back into it, tied at 8. Then Sterling City back on offense. Hudson Cox, 2. Wyatt Cisco, what a grab, putting the Eagles at the Bears' 1-yard line. Next play, Cox to Cisco again for the touchdown, making it 16-8 Eagles, but Sterling City falls in a little bit of a stunner last night to Balmorhea, 64-22, bringing their season to a close.
Some other six-man scores. Eden coming off of that win over Robert Lee, but they fall to Gorman tonight, 68-20. Meanwhile, Blackwell just doing what they do. They beat Sierra Blanca last night, 72-24. So, all right, Blackwell, what do you got next? They're going to meet up with Jayton in the regional tournament. That kickoff will be at 6 p.m. next Friday, November 23rd in Trent. And in case you want to know, I found out that the combined scores between Robert Lee and May was 182. Just did a little bit of math. Six-man football.
I'm glad you did it because it was going to take me about an hour and a half to probably figure out those two scores combined. Boy, thank you for doing the math, Rachel. And in just 2 more days, the Dallas Cowboys will have their hands full on the road as they look to make it 2 in a row when they visit the always potent Atlanta Falcons and that offense. For more on what the Cowboys are looking at on the injury front, here's Mickey Spagnola with your Silver Star Nation.
When the Dallas Cowboys went to Atlanta last year and were beaten 27-7, their offensive line was under repair. There was no Tyron Smith. Well, this year, when they go to Atlanta on Sunday to face the Falcons, their defensive line is going to be under repair. The Cowboys know heading into that game already from the official injury report, they will be without David Irving, Taco Charlton, along with Daniel Ross. Also, Antoine Woods is listed as doubtful, and I think he's highly doubtful. So the Cowboys are going to need some help on that defensive line. Looks like they're going to go to their practice squad and sign Christian Ringo, a defensive tackle. He's played in 14 games in the National Football League with Green Bay and Detroit. Also, because they don't have as many defensive ends as need be, probably Tyrone Crawford will move from defensive end to defensive tackle, and that will mean Randy Gregory will be probably the starting right defensive end. On the left side will be DeMarcus Lawrence, and rookie Dorrance Armstrong going to help both of those guys out. So as you can see, the Cowboys' lack of depth at defensive tackle is causing them some problems heading into this game. For the Silver Star Nation, I'm Mickey Spagnola.
They're coming off their bye week. They're going to be on the road against the Washington Redskins tomorrow. Kickoff for that game will be at noon Sunday at FedEx Field. Finally, it's time for Angelo State men's basketball to play inside the Janelle Center. The Rams were in Stephenville last weekend for the Tarleton Classic and notched 2 solid wins out there. Hoping to make some noise in the annual Ed Messbarger Classic. The Rams took on Jarvis Christian College tonight. Here we go. First half, Ronald Bell to Colin Turner. He drains the 3 right there. That'll give the Rams a 3-point lead. Later in the half, good ball movement by the Rams. James Kirksey passed to the corner to Antonio Singleton. And here we go. Drain another 3. Make it 14-9. Angelo State. Later on, Antonio Singleton passes to Marcel Petway for the layup to make it 16-9 Rams. Rams have no issues tonight as they go on to win 98-62. They'll be back in action against St. Edwards 7 o'clock tomorrow to continue on with the tournament.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think there's any other LSC team that wants to get back on the floor quicker after what happened last year with how disappointing their season. And head coach Cinco Boom will tell you that was not how they wanted to end the year last year. First round LSC tournament bye. I mean, they just got booted in the first round, and yeah, they're anxious to be out there, and it showed. Huge win by 30 over tonight.
Absolutely. So now we've got 5 Concho Valley high school football teams remaining. We had 15 coming into the bi-district round. Now we're down to 5 that move on to the next round.
Some very intriguing matchups. Like, of course, you got Lakeview, you got Wall, you got Mason. God, there's Cristoval. There's going to be some very interesting games. Blackwell, and hopefully Blackwell as well. They had a pretty good run last year. They were beat by Balmaray, who went to the state title game where they got beat. So maybe Blackwell can make another run. Maybe Wall can make another run. You know, if they can get past Bushland, which I'm not saying they're just going to run by them. Bushland's no joke. That's always a fun game with them too. You know, we know what all roads lead to.
Brock.
Yeah, that's what eventually it leads to. But man, there's been some fun games this year.
Yeah, and what you covered Bushland when you were up in Amarillo.
When I was up in Amarillo. I pretty much called them San Angelo's Wall, basically, because they're 20 minutes from San Angelo. They're about the same size. Both 3A. They both played each other, which doesn't help the case, but it's going to be fun to renew the rivalry, and that's what head coach Houston Guy said, that as a potential team they could play, and he was pretty excited about it as well. But again, one of the fun storylines, El Dorado, again, I know they lost, but I'm anxious to see what they'll do in their 3rd year under head coach Michael Johnson.
Yeah, absolutely. So we got, again, as I mentioned, 5 high school football teams going on to the next round. We got Lakeview, Cristoval, Mason, Wall,
and Blackwell. I've got like a 1 in each thing.
Yep,
we got to keep an eye on every district if we will. Well, Rachel, unfortunately, it's come that time where we've got to say goodbye for the show and the season. Huge thank you to everybody that helped throughout this season, going photogging, shooting games, logging scores, making this whole show run smoothly and great, and for you being out there at San Angelo State or wherever we had you out there, Wall, anywhere. We appreciate all your help, Rachel, as always, and a big thank you to all those watching. We'll see you back here next year, same time, same place. Have a great night and a better weekend.
You've been watching Inside the Game, sponsored by Mitchell Auto Group.